I'd like to call the meeting of the Development Review Board to order, June 19, 2018.
Okay, first item on our agenda are the minutes from our last meeting.
Any changes? Need a motion? Mary moves.
I'll second.
Bill seconds. All in favor?
Abstain. Okay, we do have a sign-up sheet for those folks that are going to be presenting or commenting this evening before the board. It includes the following oath statement. I solemnly swear or affirm under the pains and penalty of perjury that the statements I make, testimony I give, and other evidence I submit to the board and the board's public hearing held on this date shall be true and correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. And I know Mr. Elliott's already signed up, so we're all set there. Next item is disclosure of any ex parte communications or conflicts of interest regarding the matter before the board this evening.
Have any? Don't see any.
Okay. So we have one hearing this evening. It's the town of Bennington at 244 Harrington Road. They're seeking approval for upgrades to the wastewater treatment facility. This application was preliminarily reviewed yesterday by the application review panel. They did recommend approval, but they asked Mr. Elliott to present the application this evening to the full board. So Wayne Elliott from Alderton Elliott is here tonight to present the changes and upgrades.
Okay. So the mic's here all set. Okay. So good evening. As previously mentioned, the applicant landowner is the town of Bennington, and the physical address is 244 Harrington Road in North Bennington. The zoning district is the rural conservation. It's been a site of an existing wastewater plant since the 1960s. The project mainly consists of three components. There's one new building, two building additions. The lot size is about 10 acres. Coverage is about 17%. And I'll talk about the building mounted light fixtures here a little bit later. So you've got the site plan in front of you. And let's see, I think I can pick the mic up here. So basically, as I mentioned, we've got three major components here. Duration of the project is going to be about 12 months. Construction cost is a little bit over $4 million. The first structure we have at the southeast corner of the site is a new screenings building. It's 20 by 22 feet, so 440 square feet. There is a below grade lower level under that which accepts the pipes, the open channel coming in. The purpose of that new screenings building is it takes the influent flow coming into the plant, and it's a screen. It's got vertical bars with 1/4 inch opening. What it does is it removes the plastics, the inorganics material, the rubbers, that type of material. Then it brings it to the ground level. We wash it, compact it, and it goes into a pile, and it's going to be disposed of there. The building, again, 440 square feet. I will show you the edges of the different floodways here. The solid dash line here, this is the limit of the 100-year flood elevation, which is at 538. The finished floor of the new building is going to be 539.5, so we're 18 inches above the 100-year flood elevation. The state requires that we protect, be able to operate for up to a 25-year flood event. We protect for a 100-year flood event. And then the other dashed, kind of hatched area is the fluvial erosion hazard zone, which runs up in this direction here. So you can see the footprint of the building here is both outside the limit of the 100-year flood elevation, and it's just barely outside the limit of the fluvial erosion hazard zone. Very little bit of grading around the building just for the walks and to bring things up to grade. For new couple changes for access, we've got a 10-foot wide paved driveway coming to the front of the building. That's for the skid steer to come up to the garage door and remove the screenings material. And then we have a 4-foot wide paved walk around the building for access. We're making some minor changes to the drainage. There's an existing drainage swale that runs from the north around the corner and goes in the westerly direction. We're intercepting that with a new 12-inch pipe here. We're bringing it from the northeast corner, and we're just going to pipe that by the building and outlet in the existing drainage swale that's there now. The building itself is going to be similar aesthetically to what's on the site now. It's going to have a 10-foot interior ceiling height. The exterior is going to be metal wall panels. We do that for the R value. It's going to have cement block interior and the insulated wall panels on the exterior. It's going to have the stucco finish and the color similar to the existing structures on site. It's going to have a standing seam metal roof. Part of the reason we do all that is just for durability, low maintenance. This elevation here is from the north end. That's the garage door I mentioned that the staff will remove the screenings. And then there's a doorway on the north and also the south side into the classified space for both points of egress. And then there's a separate exterior entrance for the unclassified electric space, which is going to have the control panel and the electrical elements. For lighting, we are doing a wall sconce here, which is going to be mounted on the north elevation. That's going to be operated by a motion sensor. So if there's an alarm or anything with there at night at 1 in the morning, the operator is going to walk on the building, that light's going to come on just for access, just for safety purposes. The second major piece of work is, majority of it is within existing structure. It's the anaerobic digestion upgrades. And if you've been to the site, you'll see the large secondary digester tank and building. All of that work is within the existing tank and building structure. And then you'll also see kind of to the north side of the site, 2 round oval tanks. All of that work is occurring within the existing tankage and building, which is between those 2 tanks. We are doing a small electrical addition on the east side of that structure, 16 by 10. Going to be at the same finished floor elevation as the screenings building, so it's going to be 18 inches above the 100-year flood elevation. Same aesthetics. It's going to be exterior metal wall panels and to match that same stucco finish and color. And the primary reason for that small addition is for sequencing. That's going to be the first thing that's done. So what we want to do is get that addition built, get all the new electrical in there, and once we've got that up and ready to go, it's going to allow us to go into the existing building and structure and start to demo and take that particular structure offline. Same thing on the exterior building lighting. Again, we're going to have an exterior wall sconce, which is going to be operated off a motion sensor. The last piece of this is the existing control building. We're doing an addition on the southerly side of that. Same finished floor elevation and width as the existing building. A little bit of grading here on the southerly edge to tie that back into the existing contours. Couple reasons for that addition. We're doing a bunch of electrical upgrades in the building. We need to do this addition and do some of the new electrical again for sequencing. Going to be a couple operators' office. We're going to open up the interior of the existing building somewhat. There's going to be a new plant PLC SCADA system, which the plant doesn't have currently. So that's going to allow the operators to sit at a PC. There's going to be a large screen monitor. They're going to be able to sit there and watch the operation of the majority of the equipment on the site. It's also going to send out alarms. They're going to be able to access that remotely. You know, if they're off hours, they can see what the alarm condition is. Conceivably, you can turn things on and off. Prefer not to do that, but it's going to give them all kinds of capabilities that a plant this size should really have, but was never built into the facility when it was done in the mid-1980s, or the latest major upgrade. Aesthetics, very similar to that. Again, the elevation is happening on the south side, same finished floor elevation, standing seam metal roof, the same manufactured wall panels to match the stucco and the color as close as we can in the existing building. And we are taking out the site light pole that's on the south side of this building. And again, we'll have a wall-mounted exterior wall sconce on there off the motion set. So if a guy is leaving the building or coming into the control building, it's dark, he can access and find his way around safely. So let's see here. Mentioned the construction duration is estimated at 12 months. It is out to bid. Construction will really run through the late summer of next year, 2019. Fire protection will be provided. That's a great addition to this facility. They've never had potable water. So the new water line that's installed will provide fire protection. Traffic, there will be obviously temporary during the construction process, trucks, construction activity, but once the project's complete, no change or additions to the existing traffic patterns. And again, this has been the site of an existing wastewater facility since the 1960s. Let's see, I think I covered everything.
Anyone have a question?
Questions?
Bill?
Yeah, the new LP tanks, where are they in the floodplain?
They are below the 100-year flood elevation, and we are working that into the design to make sure those are tied down as required by code. It wasn't my preference to put them there. That's where the staff wanted them because of snow removal and access, so that's where they preferred that they be located. There's going to be 2,000-gallon tanks there. One of those is going to be serving, which is part of a separate work that the town's doing, this existing headworks influent pump building. They're replacing the boiler, the heating system in there, so once that's done, that's going to pull off one of the new tanks. The other tank is going to be to heat the new screenings building. So the design will incorporate, the tie down and everything for those because they are slightly below the 100-year flood elevation.
Right.
Yep.
You're going to pour concrete and strap them then?
Yes, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Just out of my curiosity, because this is an upgrade and not a whole new project, the 10 acres, that does not trigger the Act 250, does it?
No,
Because
it doesn't,
I
no.
don't think so.
And we're required, just to state funded, so they have to go through their environmental review process. Really early on, we get a determination from Act 250. Typically, if it's an existing site, it doesn't trigger a permit or amendment. The only time that would generally is if you're increasing the capacity of the facility
you.
or doing something significant.
Yeah,
Any other questions? What's the board's decision? Yes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
It's really not related to the
Yeah.
plan, but
Yeah.
will the upgrades reduce the odors coming from the plant?
Not really. And it's mostly, so the screenings building is kind of a new addition to that. That's contained, it's a classified space, there's ventilation systems with that. The digestion will pretty much operate as it does now. We're kind of replacing everything. It's really age-related driven, so really what we're doing, there wouldn't be any change over
So the
what's
functions are essentially
Yep,
the same.
exactly, yep.
That's too bad.
I would
So Wayne, just to kind of clarify, that when we did experience odors, that was a failure of the RBCs.
Yep, that's a good
All
point.
4 rows are being replaced.
That's right,
So
yep.
it shouldn't experience that problem.
Not from
And
the
then
RBCs,
for-
no,
yeah,
no,
for
that's a
all.
good point. So that's a separate contract which the town's doing. Over the last year and a half, those odor issues have really been attributed to the RBCs, which are in this part of the liquid stream, the biological process up here. And as Dan mentioned, they have replaced 8 of those. And then they've done the second train, which is another 8, so they've done 16 of those, and those are to be completed by the end of the year. And once that's done, then that's going to address the process issues and the odor issues that have occurred here over the last 18 months or so. Yep. Yep.
Okay, what's your decision, guys? Harry?
I'll move to approve as presented.
Dan seconds? All in favor? All set, Wayne?
Great, thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for the information.
Tried to keep it short. I'd love to talk about process, anything on there, but try to keep it to the application, and it's a nice night, so. But I love to talk about wastewater plants, so.
Any other business?
Only one thing is,
Fun guy, my wife's an accountant, so.
one other business, not for this evening because it's not on the agenda, but you guys should be thinking about who you want to elect for chair and vice chair for this year. So I know there's going to be a lot of competition, so. thinking about that.
Big fight.
So So we'll put that on the agenda for next time, so.
You have your posters, your signs, run your ads in the Bennington banner.
That's all I have for
Albany TV market.
Move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn. Second? Dan seconds, all in favor?
Thank you, guys.
Too late.